Man, after watching the Candace Owens and Don Lemon interview and seeing how that all went down and seeing how these situations transpire, dog, and how if you say something, you feel like they coming after you, dog. You feel like somebody gonna get you. You feel like it's a boogeyman in the room, and you can't talk about or share how you really feel. And it made me think about the fact of the matter is the entire world is homophobic. The entire world is homophobic. And that was the intent behind the agenda of it all, was to make you and me homophobic. What I mean by that, me and you know that we don't have a fear of anybody who has a sexual preference. That's what this all boils down to, is a sexual preference, dog. Who you decide to lay in your bed with is your business. What I decide to do in my bedroom is my business. Now, I can take it to the extreme and let y'all know what I'm doing, or, dress up and play a role. Like right now, I'm a heterosexual male. I'm dressed like a heterosexual male. If I was a man identifying as a female, I would play the part. I would dress like a female. Right? You dressing and playing, can't get these glasses together. You dressing and playing your part. But at the end of the day, science never lies, dog. You can identify as what you want to identify as, but we all know that if you can give birth and you have a menstrual cycle, you're a female. You know what I'm saying? Who wants to identify, or who identifies as a male? Cool. The problem comes in is when y'all have these conversations, y'all draw up these topics and create these talking points. Y'all want to draw people in and have the conversation or have a debate, and you're not willing to be realistic or honest about the conversation, or the go-to is that you have a phobia, right? You have a fear of, I guess, homosexuals. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, I was sitting in the garage today, dog, and it made me think. And I was sitting in there and I'm just thinking about this, dog, and it came to me that yes, we all have a phobia. And it's not necessarily to be afraid of somebody that's that's gay, or that identifies as the opposite sex, or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? It's the fact that we're scared to even talk about it because we don't want to get canceled. We don't want to, you know what I'm saying? We don't want nobody to come after us, dog. So you're right. There is a fear. There's a fear like there's never been a fear before, dog. And that was the game plan for their community to be whatever they want their community to be and do. They can do and say whatever they want and be, you know what I'm saying, outlandish and go wherever they want. Which, it's a free country. You should be able to go and do whatever you want and say whatever you want. My only thing is that if you want to have the conversation, then allow other people to have an opinion. You can't then label someone when you're inviting the conversation to be had. You can't label someone as a homophobic, you know what I'm saying, when you're inviting me to have the conversation. You're asking me my thoughts and opinions on something that I shouldn't have to, or, that I should be giving an opinion on. What you do is what you do. But if you asking my opinion, I should be allowed to give my opinion and it not be an issue. You dig? And I think because it is such a touchy subject, and it's a very biased conversation to have, and it usually only goes one way. You get canceled, you know what I'm saying? You get ostracized, you get labeled. So that's why people are very, you know what I'm saying? I hate to say the word afraid, but it feels like there's a fear of coming out and saying how you really feel about certain things. And this is one of those things. And that's why I said what I said. There is a phobia that the world is experiencing around this topic. It's not necessarily a fear of a person and what they're doing. It's the fact that you can't even have the conversation, dog. Like a legit conversation. So it must be a trend to take things that's extremely simple and make them extremely complex. I just got on TikTok, and I know TikTok has been around forever, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I just hopped on TikTok, and I'm figuring it out. I'm learning, you know, and I'm catching some of the lives. And one of the things that I find to be very interesting before I get into what I want to talk about is that it's really true that there's an audience out there for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Any content creator, there's an audience out there for you. You just have to, your content just has to be seen by that audience. Because there's people doing all kind of stuff on TikTok, dog, and got thousands and thousands of, you know, followers. But I'm scrolling through TikTok, and I run across this live, and in the background of this live, it says trans women or women, and men can have kids, right? Hope I'm saying that right. So I'm listening to the conversation, because people are joining and having this conversation with, you know, the person that's hosting the live in, you know, her group of people, okay? And I'm listening to the conversation. Obviously, there's some bias, you know, in how people feel. And I remember just listening to it, and as I'm listening to it, I'm thinking to myself, when a person truly feels a way about something, or when they really believe something, it's impossible to change their mind, dog. My only issue with the conversation is, why is there such a goal to create the complexity behind the conversation? Why are we trying to make this so complex? Clearly, if you're having a child, you're a woman, biologically. Now, what you decide to identify as, that's your prerogative, dog. And I just don't understand, why is it so important for people to try to push their personal lives on people? What you do in your personal life behind closed doors in your sheets is your business. You know what I'm saying? When I'm 36, when I was coming up, we knew people was gay, bisexual, you know what I'm saying? Which back then we identify everything as gay. You feel me? And it was just a known fact. It was just something that we knew. We knew who they were. We didn't have a topic about it to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And it was just understood. There wasn't no conversation about it. You fast forward to 2024, and you got all of these different names for what it really is gay. But whatever. Everybody got a friend or a family member, somebody that they know that has a particular sexual preference, because that's really what this is all about, dog. You have a sexual preference, and you're taking it to the extreme by looking the part. You playing dress up to look the part, but what it all boils down to is that you have a sexual preference. If you're a guy that dresses as a female, your sexual preference is that you like men. If you are a man on a DL, you look like a regular heterosexual male, but like men, your sexual preference is men. There doesn't need to be a conversation about that. There doesn't need to be this overwhelming approach to this topic, dog. You know what I'm saying? There's an understanding that there is a group, you know what I'm saying, of people out there that may need guidance with situations like this. You know what I'm saying? And how they're gonna be received, and you know, the family dynamics that they may be dealing with as far as acceptance from their parents and stuff like that. Fine, cool, I understand that, you dig? But the problem that a lot of us have, and not speaking for everybody but speaking for me, the problem with this situation is that when you try to push it on people, when you try to tell me that I need to change what me and you both know is the truth, you trying to tell me that you're in fact a female when I know your mama and we came up together and we played together as boys. These are people who you trying to tell me to address you in a manner, my brain won't let me turn it off. You know what I'm saying? It won't let me. That's where the problem comes in, is when you want me to feed into the delusion. You want me to feed into the lie, and I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? My brain, my education as a 36-year-old male won't allow myself to let you make me feel like you're something that I know you're not. So I'm just saying, dog, since when did it become cool to make things that are simple so complex? Because that's what this is. A very simple conversation that really shouldn't even be a conversation, and having an understanding of where we are in the world. Because when you say that you can identify something that you're not, that opens the can of worms that I feel like should be allowed to be open. If we gonna feed into one delusion, we need to feed into them all, dog. Because I'm about to identify as a billionaire white man who never gets in trouble, who the police can never pull over because it's against my law for you to pull me over and bother me. I get to walk into any store because I own all the stores. I own everything. I get to walk into any store, walk into any dealership, get whatever car, get whatever I want because I own the dealership. It's my car. You can't tell me it's my car. I identify as the owner of this dealership, and it's my car. Whatever Hellcat I want, I need y'all to get me the keys to it because it's mine. Straight up. We need to feed into we gotta feed into it, dog. You know what I'm saying? I've worked in mental health and behavioral health all my life, bro. The stuff that I done heard people say, and looking at their facial expression, dog, they really believe this shit. You know what I'm saying? My responsibility is to make them understand that reality is this, and that's not reality. You know what I'm saying? This is the reality. This is what we were trained to do, to remind people that this is the reality. I understand what you think is going on, but that's not what's going on. That's not who you are. This is who you are. You know what I'm saying? But for whatever reason, people expect you to feed into this one particular delusion. A delusion is a delusion, dog. I don't care how you slice it. Don't matter how you slice it, dog. A delusion is a delusion. Ain't nobody got no phobias. Ain't nobody afraid of nobody that is making a sexual preference. You do what you do in your bedroom. That's your business. That's your business, dog. It's not even about that. It's about you trying to change the language. You trying to tell me something that I know. I know men can't have a period, dog. I know men can't give birth. Come on, man. We know that already. The problem comes in is when you try to tell me I'm homophobic because I know science, I know biology. Sorry, not sorry.